Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is your sister again, Habiba Aleilo. As you all know, my job here is to simplify the web development journey for every aspiring web developer, just like myself. May Almighty Allah make it easy for everyone of us. If that sounds interesting to you, please subscribe to my channel and click the notification button so that you'll be among those who get notified whenever I post another lesson. My lessons are always very easy to comprehend, they are always very interesting. You won't get bored along the line, you won't get confused, or you won't get it complicated Bismillah. And if you are subscribed to my channel already, please help share my videos to reach more audience. Thank you very much. May your desires be granted earlier than you prayed for. Jazakumullah khairan. So today, this is what we want to learn. I want to learn, let's say I want to say 4 multiplied by 5, so equal to, then cancel. All right, if you love what you are seeing here, please follow me to the code editor. Let's go. Okay, so first thing, let's come in and create our files. So let us create our files. Let's name it calc.html. Then let's create our, okay, so now that we have all the three files opened, now inside our HTML, this is where the work is going to start from. And the very first thing we need to do here is to open our HTML syntax. So by pressing shift 1, then enter. So let's change this title to calculator. Then after that, the very first thing we'll be declaring is our section or div. Whichever one we want to use is fine. Familiar with the div. Then let's give our div a class name of calculator. Then after declaring our div, the next thing we're going to be declaring is form. So this form is what holds the output section, so the screen of our calculator. So that is what the form will be holding. Then let's give our, inside the form, then we're going to be putting input there, and that is text. So let's type the text and let's give it the class name of let's say screen. Then after this, we are going to be creating another div outside our form, and this is the one that is going to hold all our buttons. So let's say div, then let's give it the class name of buttons. So inside this div, the class name of buttons, now then we're going to be declaring all the buttons. So remember that we need like how many buttons? We need like 17 buttons if I can remember. So we have 4 buttons up, the one that showed the multiplication. Let me count the buttons. So we have this 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have, so inside these ones will be separate, that will give us 17 altogether. So the first one we created, the first form that we created is for this screen place, while the buttons now. So let's continue. Now I'll be declaring button. So I'm going to give it class name of, I'll be giving it 2 class names. When you want to have 2 class names, I'll be giving it class name of, have we used any class name like button before? No, we use buttons. So let me just use button. Then I will now use the color. So let's check. Okay, so this one has yellow, this one have gray, while this one has a red. So let's go. So let me just say BTN yellow. So for those ones that have a yellow, I don't know if you're getting it, then I will put the sign here. The very first sign is the multiplication sign, so which is our asterisk. So having done this now, so I'll just do 2, 3, 4. So we need it in 4 places like that for the first 4 buttons. Then let me just change this sign here. So the second sign is division, the third sign, while the fourth sign is minus. Okay, so having done this, let's move to the next set of buttons. And then with that we have okay, let me just recreate one of this. I just wish to put space here, okay, so that we can differentiate the buttons differently. But in this case, I will change this yellow to gray, all of them. So intentionally I am giving all our buttons, I give all of them the same class name of button throughout, so that because there are some styles that are common to them all, so I gave them this common class name button, but I'm trying to differentiate them with another class name, so that the color, so that the style for this the first 4 buttons that have yellow background, then another like 9 or 12 of other ones that have another color. Okay, so that is what we just did here now. So let me just repeat all this time, start putting the numbers there. So this will be 9, 1, 0, then dot. Okay, so now we are done with the next set of button. So it now remains the last button, the equal to and the okay. And let me just change the name here. So with this one now, I'll just begin giving them the class name of this one is for equal. Okay, so let me just repeat this one too. Then let me put the equal sign where necessary. Then the other one is cancel, so we are going to put an uppercase capital letter C, and cancel or clear, so whichever one. Okay, so I'm using cancel. Alright, so with these I think we are done with our HTML. So now it is time to go to CSS. So but before we do that, let's quickly see what we have in our, let me remove, let's see what we have in our browser. Alright, so this is what we have here now. Can we all see? So we have our input here, then we have all the buttons ready for use. Okay, so let's proceed to CSS class now. So for the CSS, I think, let me check what we have here. Okay, we have this beautiful yellow color, so let's first give it a background color of, let's give our body a background color of yellow. Okay, we are going to be giving it a padding. So let me say 2%, 0.5%. Okay, so we need to link our CSS with our HTML and our JavaScript and HTML. So let's quickly do that so that we can see. And then calc.css, then our JavaScript too. So now that we have linked them together, we'll start seeing the effect of whatever we are putting here now. So let's quickly check what we have here. So we can see we have our beautiful yellow here. Okay, let's proceed to the next thing. So let's declare the kind of display we want. So we want to say display flex. Then I want to say justify content center. Text our main div, and we have class name of OK calculator. So let's say that. Then let me first give it padding, centralize everything we have there. So let's say text align center. So we gave it this background color, we say text align center. So we gave it a width of 200 pixel, border radius 10 pixel, and height 350 pixel. Okay, so let's continue. So this is the outcome of what we have currently. So let's move to the next thing. So we want to style our screen, and that is the next thing we want to do now. We want it to have a color of white, so whatever we are typing on, it should give us white. We want the background color to be black. We want the width to be 175 pixel, the height 100 pixel, then border radius 10 pixel, margin bottom 10 pixel, and text align right, so that it can start typing from the right. Letter spacing 5 pixel. Okay, so let's see what we have here now. Okay, so this is what we currently have. So we may need to adjust our background also, our calculator class. Okay, but let's move on. So after this, we need to style our buttons. So we'll be styling our buttons now, and then we're going to give it. Okay, let's say we want to give it padding. I'm going to give it a display of flex. Okay, so let's see what we have here for now. So can you see everything? Then our button now. So each button now will say, you know, so we want this to maintain this property. Flex should be 1. It means that they should share it equally. They should share the space equally. I give them the margin of 5 pixel, font size 18 pixel, border radius 5 pixel, border none, padding 5 pixel. So let's see what we have here now. Instead of flex, let me give this one display of grid. Display of grid. display of grid, then I'm going to be giving it so grid template columns. So I want it to be auto. How many buttons do we have on a line? So that's what I'm going to use to declare it. So that's how to use grid. So we have 4 buttons on a line, so I'm going to declare the auto in 4 places. So let's check. So I'm going to say auto, then auto. All right, so let's go back to check now. So now we can all see what we have here. So we are getting the result. So now what remains is for us to give all these ones the background. So we are using grid instead of flex for this side. Okay, it seems I need to adjust this padding or something. Let me remove the padding. Where is it? Our calculator. So let me first remove this padding. Maybe that is why we are having that long thing. Aha, it's perfect now. Okay. All right, so now the next thing is for us to style each button now as we have them on the row. So we have one with a class name of is it BT and yellow, and I think what we just need to put there is the background and nothing so serious. So background, because in what we have in our prototype, it is not this. It's not okay. It's like orange self. So let me go and change it to orange instead of yellow. Okay, so we have this now. Then what is the next button having? Okay, gray. Let's see how it looks. We're going to be changing this one to equal and change the background color to green. Okay, let's just copy this again, then paste it. Okay, so this time we will be changing this one to cancel. Okay, so it seems we now have exactly what we have here. Okay, now so can we now see there's a slight difference? Okay, this one has white color while this still has black. It seems the background is different. Let's manage the background like that. Let me just change this color to white. All of these other ones are they still black? Okay, it's all right. So let's go and change this, the one with orange. So let's give it a color of white. Okay, it has affected the size of the button. Let me change it to 20. Okay, I think it's fine now. So now we are done with HTML and CSS. The next thing is to move to JavaScript. What do we have to do there to make it work? All right, let's go. So the very first thing we're doing now is we'll be selecting all our documents from HTML file. So the very first thing is to declare some variables. Let's say const button, then let it be equal to document.query. So what are we selecting for the button? So we need to choose the class name. Class name of button. So the next variable is the screen to be created, that of equal, then the cancel. Okay, then we are going to be writing the necessary function. Now that we have declared our variables, so let's quickly go and check what we have. You will realize that there is nothing that has changed. If we are still clicking on it, nothing is appearing on the screen. So this is just the result of our basic HTML and CSS. All right, so let's go and start adding some functions now. So the very first thing we'll be doing is to we want to select all the, remember, okay, here where I was declaring the variable, I first used query selector alone, but that's not going to give us do the work we actually want it to do, because what we want is we want it to select all the elements with this class name of button. So we need to say query selector all, not just query selector as for others. All right, so now because we have said query selector all, then we need to write this. It is very compulsory, so we say for each. So for each means it should carry out the following operation on each of the buttons. Are you getting now? So we have told it to select the button. Now we are going to tell it to use, we are going to use this method. We call this a method. So we are going to be opening the parentheses in front of it. So that's the method. Then we are going to tell it to do that for each. Okay, so having done this, the next thing we're going to do is to be opening a function. So I'm going to be using an arrow function, and then so this is how we declare arrow function, in case you are forgetting, just like this. But in this case now, we need to give we need to declare a kind of should we call it variable too, for each of those buttons, so that to select them one by one. So let us say something like btn. Then having done this, so we are going to be writing the following function. We'll be saying btn dot add event listener. So we want it to actually listen to the following events. So when we say btn dot add event listener, we want something to happen when something happens, like maybe when a button is clicked or when a form is submitted. We want it to listen to also event, then do this. I don't know if you get it now. So we're now going to open this. Add event listener is also a method. So, and inside here, the very first thing is click, that we are going to, because we are working with button, so this is a JavaScript keyword. We are going to tell it that when a button is clicked, so when a button is clicked, the following function should happen. Right, so we are still going to declare another button, and I'll prefer to use my arrow button as well. Okay, so having done this, the next thing we are going to be writing there now is, remember, our screen here is what we actually want. We are going to be working with our screen, as in this is where the whatever we press or whatever we clicked on is going to be appearing, right? So we're going to say screen. So we want to give it a value now. So we are going to say screen dot value. So what should the value be? Equal to btn. So it should be equal to btn dot inner html. Like it should have the value of those buttons. So the screen value should be of those buttons. But if we go and check this now, there's something I want to let you understand here. But before I do that, let's first see this. You understand this now, that the value of the screen, that what should appear on the screen, is whatever we got from the HTML button, inner HTML. Okay, so now let's go and check. So in this case, okay, nothing is not working. Yes, I just want to I don't think we did anything wrong, but I need to go back to my HTML and correct something. You see, I was reading a code someday and I saw that one programmer actually put the script inside this head element, which is I'm not used to that anyway. So I just learned that it can be used inside the head element, but it is likely that it doesn't work in all ways. So let me bring it down to the usual place with this, which is the last place in our body element. Okay, let's go and check now. Maybe it's working better. So I expect this to be so it's typing now, but you will realize that I clicked 01 and it typed. I click 1, then the 0 changed to 1. I click 4, then the 1 changed to 4. We don't actually want this to happen. What we want is that whatever we click, everything should show. Then let's go and learn how to do that. So in our JavaScript here, we put this equal to, so it's going to show only one button, but if you want it to be showing everything, that it should be adding up. Like you will press 1 and then you press 2, add 2 to that one, don't delete that one, then press 2. So we are going to be putting this there, plus sign in front of the equal to. If we go back now, this should have been this must have been rectified, like 1 0. Yeah, can you see that? So that is what we're talking about. But in this case, this will still be typing, because that is okay. It seems I've removed the button on this, but because all these still have button, and it's not all right. Let's go back to our work. Okay, so we are done. We have been able to do this now, that whatever we press on our button should show on the screen. All right, so let's move to the next. Okay, so the next thing now is to work on we have worked on all the buttons. Okay, actually we don't want all the buttons should be showing, so let's go back to our HTML and remove button from, let's remove button from this, and even this. Okay, so we can just be left with this, though it might have affected the arrangement. Yeah, I'm sure, because we use button to define all this, but we're going to rectify that later. Let's finish our the only solution to this is just to copy the width and height that we gave to this inside the body to put it inside this. Let's quickly rectify that. Let's just copy this and then add to our equal to button and the cancel button. So let's see if these are rectified the whole issue. Okay, now we can see we have everything beautiful again. Okay, so let's go back to our JavaScript. So now we want to work with the equal to, so we just say the equal to equal, so we use equal here, dot add event listener as well, because just like the way we did the button, that's what we want to do. Then we say click. Okay, we open the parentheses, then we right click here, then comma, then our function. Okay, so inside this function I'll be writing some conditional statement. We'll say if the screen value, the screen dot value, if it is equal to, if it is empty, so what should happen? So it should print empty. So that's what we're going to put here. So screen dot value should be equal to empty. Okay, else we not declare a kind of variable here. So we not declare a kind of variable here. Let's say I want to use answer, or let's say yes, let's say answer. Then okay, we say let answer be equal to answer be equal to eval. You see, eval means evaluate. So we want to evaluate something. What should it evaluate? So it should evaluate screen dot value. That is what it should give us. So when we say it should evaluate screen dot value, then we are now going to tell that screen dot value should now be equal to. So we are just telling it whatever that is displayed on screen. Let's say 2 plus 1, it should evaluate it and let our answer be equal to that. Are you getting? So after it has evaluated it, we have not told it to do anything, then we will say screen dot value should now be equal to answer. Okay, so let's quickly go and check this before we move to our cancel button. So we have 1, then let's say times 2 is equal to 2. Can you see that? 8 plus 7. Okay, so 28 plus 7, that should give us 35. Okay, we have not worked on our cancel yet. So now we have seen that it actually worked. We have 35 showing now. So if we say plus 6, so it's going to give us 41. Okay, so let's go back to write function for our cancel, so that we'll be able to cancel it and we won't be stuck at not being able to go back and have a new unit, new input. Right, so now the next thing is just like what we did here, and we're just going to say what's the variable name for cancel. It's in reduced cancel. So we just go there and say cancel dot add event listener. So just like what we have there, and it's slightly different anyway. Then we would say when it is clicked, when the button is clicked on, the following function should happen. Okay, when it is clicked on, what should happen? The screen value should equal to, it should be empty. So it's just as simple as just like what we did, or we just say screen dot value should be equal to empty, and that is all. So once the cancel button is clicked on, the screen dot value should be equal to empty. So let's quickly go and check if that has taken effect. Okay, we have 10 divided by 8. Then we are going to have 1.25. We need to cancel that. Can you see it? Beautiful. Then we have 44.2 divided or minus 5. So that should give us 39.2. all right, so we have come to the end of this calculator project. I believe we all enjoyed it and it's quite interesting. So in case you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask in the comment section. Please subscribe to my channel if you have not done that before. I so much appreciate you. For those who have subscribed already, I really love you and I really appreciate it. You don't know how what it actually means to me. It means a lot. May Almighty Allah continue to bless every one of you. All right, have a nice time. Assalamu alaikum.